Hey yo, Chicago, what is good? It is your boy Beth the Designer back at it again. Hey yo, Petty, you better
What's
tell
good?
him,
What's good? What's good?
you better tell him hit that like button because the Justin Fields era might have begun. Listen, we telling y'all right now, hit the like button, subscribe to the page. We do talk Chicago sports weekly. We want
Weekly.
you to press the thing, so make sure that you hit that bell. We're gonna jump straight into this because we do have a guest on the phone line, so we're gonna go straight out to there. Coming to the show. We're going to introduce a man that's been on the show before, Mr. David Schuster, a contender, contributor, and longtime Chicago sports journalist. Welcoming him into the show to talk about the beginning of the Justin Fields era. David, you there?
Yeah, I'm here, guys. I hope you can hear me. I'm moving very slowly down the tollway in my car, so hopefully you can hear me.
We hear you just
Yeah.
fine, David. Sounds good. First things first, how's it going? How's things going in your perfect Chicago Bears world today?
Everything's great. Other than the traffic moving at a snail's pace, everything is just fine.
Can't go wrong with it. Can't go wrong with it. Well, we want to get your thoughts early here. I mean, Matt Nagy comes out, and here's the thing, because I've titled the video. I feel pretty aptly. Justin Fields named the starter for Week 3, but has his Chicago Bears era truly begun? Do you believe that Justin Fields' Chicago Bears era has actually begun? Because Matt kind of came out and he was like, "Yeah, he's very good, and he's gonna start. And by the way, Andy's still the starter if he's healthy."
Yeah, I mean, I guess the answer to your question is, has the era started? The answer is yes and no. I mean, obviously he played in the last game when Dalton got injured. He finished off the first half. He played the second half. Honestly, he wasn't that good overall. His QB rating was only 27, which is pretty low, guys.
Yeah.
He threw a bad interception, although there was a stupid play call on the coach's part, and he fumbled the ball. But he also scrambled for a big first down on a third down play. And if they don't get that first down, they might even lose the game. So there's always good and bad, and even ugly with a young quarterback. Just take a look at the other quarterbacks. I mean, Trevor Lawrence
Yeah.
has been pretty bad in his first games. The kid in New York, Wilson, he threw 4 interceptions. His QB rating was 30 the other day. So, you got to take the good and the bad with these young guys. Yes, Justin Fields is going to get his first start. It's unfortunate that it's coming with an injury. And, Matt Nagy even said today, well, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't want to play the what if game, meaning that if Fields plays really well, even if Dalton is healthy, does Fields continue to start? I'll answer that question for you. The answer, of course, is yes. I mean, what are you going to do? If Fields throws 4 touchdown passes and has a QB rating of 130 and Dalton is healthy, do you really think they're going to go back to Dalton? The answer, of course, is no. So, it's game by game. I'm excited for the kid. He's doing it in a state where he made a lot of headlines in Ohio, and I'm sure a lot of Browns fans are going to be fans of Justin Fields as well. So it's a perfect opportunity, albeit against a pretty good defense and a pretty good team overall in the Cleveland Browns.
I think the reason, and listen, I really want to believe you. I really want to believe that if Justin comes out and balls out, that they can't go back to Andy. But the problem here is we've doubted Matt along the way when we've said, Justin looked better than Andy in this situation. Justin either needs these first team reps, and Matt has been consistent. Hey, look, Andy's the starter. Andy's the starter. Is it time for us to doubt him now? Even if he does come out and says Justin's going to play, but Andy's still our starter. Are they looking to treat him more like a backup and still let him sit even if he plays well?
Well, let me answer that question this way. I've been doing this for a long time, and I don't believe half the things I'm told, and that's what makes me at least a decent reporter. Whether it's coaches or managers or general managers or even owners,
Yeah.
you can just put aside half the things that they say. That's just a fact. So, again, I'm going to state that if Justin Fields plays extremely well,
Yeah.
and he probably would have to play extremely well, and Dalton is healthy, Fields will continue to start. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it in my mind. And that's just logically looking at it.
Yeah.
I don't know if he'll be able to do that, because the offensive line, even though it was semi-decent the other day, it's not very good overall. And the kid is just learning. I would anticipate that they're going to come at him with everything that the kitchen sink on Sunday, the Browns, and that's going to make life pretty tough for him, especially in front of a hostile crowd. So I'm wishing him well. I'm not so sure that he's going to have a great game, to be honest with you.
Oof.
Mm. Oof. Brought some heat. Brought some heat. Okay.
Well, do you think I'll ask you this much? Do you think that at least going in here, does he get a boost from playing in front of his the place that I mean, the Browns are Cleveland, but Ohio State is Ohio. If you go to Ohio, does he get a boost, or do we hear more of a Justin Fields type crowd when he's going into this game here?
Well, I think it's probably a little bit of an advantage, maybe playing there as opposed to maybe starting your first game at Lambeau Field against Green Bay.
True.
But most of the fans are obviously going to be Cleveland Brown fans. So, yeah, he might get a little bit of cheer the first time he comes into the game right off the bench. But for the most part, let's face it, that's a Browns crowd, and they're not really going to be backing. He'll have some fans, obviously, but no, the major majority of fans will be pulling for him to probably get sacked and fumble the ball, and for the Browns to win the game. That's pretty obvious, also.
Well, let's look at this wide receiving core with Allen Robinson and Darnell Mooney. I mean, we saw Justin Fields put some pretty good balls on the hands for them, and they just weren't able to come down with them. Do you think that's just them not seeing Justin in practice? I mean, at all in preseason for Allen Robinson. Do you think that that's just them not seeing him and working mostly with Andy, or do you think that that could be a problem for the Bears moving forward with them being able to come down and help out this young quarterback?
I'll be honest with you. If it's a problem going forward, blame it on the wide receivers, not on the quarterback. He throws the ball. That's one of his major positives, his attributes in college is that he was so damn accurate.
Yeah.
So again, it's only a couple of. I'm not going to read that much into it. Yes, Allen Robinson should have caught that touchdown pass, no question about it. But he's really good also. They only targeted him a few times in the game. The first thing they should do is they should get him more involved in the offense. That's number one. But no, I don't think there's any problem. Yes, he will get all the snaps in practice this week with Nick Foles being the backup this week.
Yeah.
So that'll probably help a little bit. But in answer to your question, no, I don't really think that's a problem at all.
I think that what we've seen or what Bears expect from Justin Fields coming out is a Pat Mahomes like performance, and you've already said that you're kind of on the other side of that, pretty much that you think he's going to struggle here. What do you expect to see from the kid in this game, and what do you expect the outcome of this Bears game to be as a whole?
Well, first of all, Pat Mahomes is playing with a Super Bowl winning team. The Bears are pretty far from being a Super Bowl winning team,
Yeah.
offensive line and every other part of their so that's sort of unfair comparison. Again, I think the kid is going to be really good in time. He's got that what I call it factor about him.
Yeah.
Again, he was incredibly accurate throwing the football in college. He can run, to escape, and he did that a couple of times, including that big third down in the game the other day against Cincinnati. So he's got that going for him also. But again, he hasn't seen that many professional defenses that much. So that's a major learning curve. That's the reason more than anything else that Dalton has been the starter and might be going forward. But again, the kid is so good that in due time, if he gets a chance, and here it is, here's his first chance,
Yeah.
first of many, I would guess, that I think he'll be just fine. But I'm not anticipating that he's going to go out and throw 4 or 5 touchdown passes in his first game. I just don't see that happening.
Hey, David, I don't know if you can hear me now. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
I'm sorry about that. You know what? I just have this quick question because we've asked this a couple of times in here, and I really appreciate you joining in and contributing. With this being the development year for Justin Fields, is it very realistic for us to be pushing to make the playoffs, or is it better for us to be pushing to see him develop as a QB for the future?
I'll answer that like an owner. There's much more money in the playoffs than there is. So, yeah, I mean, listen, whether he's the quarterback, Dalton, Nick Foles, I don't know who the quarterback is, your first objective is to make the postseason.
Yeah.
If he's the quarterback, they're still going to try and make the postseason. But again, he's going to struggle a little bit just because he's a rookie quarterback. And guys, take a look at all the rookie quarterbacks already so far this season. They're all struggling, even second-year quarterbacks. I mean, they said last week 7 of the 8 first and second-year quarterbacks had bad games. There's a reason for it. There's a learning curve in the NFL. So again, Justin Fields, like I've said a couple of times already, He'll be really good. It might not be right off the bat.
Should we expect more from him? I mean, listen, we get to watch the Bears all the time, so we have lowered the bar tremendously on. Listen, if Matt Nagy just runs the ball, that's an improvement. But should we expect more from him, seeing as how he is the one young QB that's coming into a team that, as limited as we may say it, and a first round exits, is a playoff team the two of the last 3 seasons.
Uh, Yeah, but things change year to year in the NFL, and injuries have a lot to do with that. So I don't really care that the Bears made the playoffs last year. Listen, that was a truncated season, and it was just weird because of the whole COVID situation. So I don't read too much into that.
Yeah.
The Bears have a real tough schedule on paper. They had the toughest schedule in the NFL this year going into the season. But again, the way I look at the NFL, it's week to week, and let's just see what happens. So no, I don't think there's an advantage or disadvantage. It's the schemes that you play. It's the protection that the quarterback gets. It's the play calling that the coach, and that's a big part of this, by the way, guys. But again, if he maybe had his first start at Soldier Field in front of the hometown fans, that might be a little bit of a boop. But it's going to be on the road, and it's not going to be easy for him. It just won't.
Joined by David Schuster, Contender contributor and longtime Chicago reporter, really breaking down the game. One more question for you before we get you out of here, David. I mean, listen, this team is moving in a direction that seems to be forward finally offensively. But when we look at what we saw last week and and really, I guess the previous seasons, can we trust this defense to be what we saw it being as we move forward?
You know what? 2 games does not make a season, obviously. They were pretty poor in the first game. They were really good in the second game, although I don't think the Bengals were really good at all, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But last week they had 4 turnovers, 3 interceptions on 3 straight plays. I don't think I've ever seen that before. They had 4 quarterback sacks. Somebody asked me the other day, is this a defense that can hold a team consistently under 20 points, the opposition? There's no team in the NFL, no defense in the NFL anymore can hold a team under 20 points on a consistent basis, only because the offenses are so good in the NFL, and the NFL is geared towards offense. If they stay healthy, if they put pressure on the quarterback, my God, Robert Quinn actually got to the quarterback. How about
right?
that? And I think he equaled his sack total of all of last year in one half last week. But if you can put pressure on the quarterback, and obviously if you can stop the run game, this is football 101, obviously. If you can do all that, guys, then your defense is going to be pretty good. So if they're able to do that, time will tell. But again, 2 games doesn't make a season. One week was terrible. 1 week was really good. Let's just see what happens in this 3rd week against a pretty good Cleveland Browns offense.
I would say a really good Cleveland Browns offense, especially if Baker's able to come out and play. We appreciate you for tuning in with us, David. Appreciate you for calling in.
Appreciate you, David. Thank you.
And let the people know where they can find you at, so that they can tune in with you on Twitter and rant together with you on on what we're going to see this week coming up.
All right, you can always find me on Twitter at Shoemouse, at SCHUMOUSE. And hopefully you can find me on the golf course, because that's where I like to be nowadays.
You and me both. We appreciate you for joining the show. Stay safe out there. All right, David?
All right, anytime, guys. Anytime.
All right, talk to you later. That was David Schuster, longtime Chicago reporter, Contender contributor. I mean, listen, he made some really good points. Should we tamper our expectations of what we're going to see from Justin Fields? That I'm gonna be honest with you, I look at it this way, and I get what he's saying, that you've got to allow the kid to learn. You've got to expect the kid to take some time. But here's the thing. Now, the one thing, scheme absolutely plays into this. If Matt Nagy calls a poor scheme, it's going to set him up for failure. That's just how it's going to go. But here's my thing with it. When I'm looking at Justin going forward, we can talk about how all the other guys are struggling. None of the other guys have the weapons Justin has. Now, if used properly, of course, the perfect world, Matt Nagy, here we go. That's probably not going to happen. But if used properly, Trey Lance, Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence's best weapon, we're talking about DJ Chark, who he targeted, 6 times, and I think he came down with 1 of them. You know what I'm saying? Zach Wilson is on the Jets, so that's all you need to know about that.
That's all you need to know about
You know what I'm saying?
that.
Like I feel like it's okay for us to expect more from uh, uh um Justin Fields because of the fact that listen, he has more put around him. Now, is Matt Nagy going to use that correctly? Me and you have both been on the show. Y'all saw the show today. We both pretty much went on there and said probably not. But at a minimum, I feel like we should expect more from him, especially getting first team reps and getting an opportunity to work with his guys finally. That I do expect. Listen, the Bears should make the playoffs. At a minimum, they should be a playoff team. If we're going to keep progressing, then it's like you say, get them out of here. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking about Matt Nagy, of course, but it's like you say, get him out of here because Justin coming in, he was touted as one of the smartest. He was honestly touted as what a lot of people thought was the best quarterback coming out of this draft.
Definitely top 5.
And we got him at 11. I feel like expectations should be there. Now, do I expect him to come out and lead us to the Super Bowl? I don't think we should do that. But is asking for him to lead us to the playoffs too much?
And I think I like with the fact that David, definitely said that we should put some pressure on our wideouts realistically because, Justin can put it there. And no matter how we feel about Dalton has proven that he can put it there. Right. And so, Dalton has been pretty accurate. We haven't had the same mistakes that we've seen over the last couple of years in these first couple games. And so, there's a lot of blame to go around as to what can happen and what should happen in relation to this team. We sit there and we blame the defense and stuff like that, but the defense definitely has a good reason to be performing at a subpar level, especially when we've been wearing them thin. They've been on the field. Statistically, I looked it up recently. Our defense has been on the field more than top 5?
Oh, I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah, and than any other team before. So I mean, hey, listen, when your defense spends way more time on the field than your offense, hey, eventually, right? We have some issues at cornerback. We have some issues at all these different things. So I mean, there's a lot of blame to go around. The one thing I don't want is the success to solely be on our rookie QB shoulders for this season. It makes no sense. It makes absolutely no sense. And
I also don't want the success to solely be on Matt Nagy's shoulders either. like you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like this, and this is and I appreciate the Bear Dons in the chat, man. Y'all know how we get down. This is the thing for me. Like, if everything works perfect, this is how Matt planned it out. You know what I'm saying? Like, at some point, I'm sure he didn't plan out Dalton getting hurt, but this is how Matt planned it out. At some point, Justin's just too good to hold back.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's got to play him. Unfortunately, he's forced to play him now due to injury to Andy Dalton. But I don't think that at some point, we said that in a perfect world, Justin doesn't play. But I think that we kept hearing that Matt absolutely, or not Matt, but that the Bears were expecting this kid to play week 4. I can't believe that they've gone into this season thinking we're going to play the kid week 4 and we're not going to make the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I think you have to go into it with the mentality of, listen, let's let the kid develop, but let's let him develop well. Let's let him develop with these weapons around him. And, Ringo did shoot us a message saying that Darnell Mooney limited today in practice due to a groin injury, a little bit limited. So we'll see it's only Wednesday. We'll see if he's going to be out there. Hopefully by that Friday report, we'll know whether he's going to be out there or not. But I mean, listen, like, he's got the opportunity to take advantage of these weapons like there hasn't been.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody else has been in a position to do this, mostly because all the weapons haven't been on the field at the same time.
Right.
Justin is coming in at a rare moment.
Hey, listen, the interesting thing is, our team has definitely seemed to have rallied around the rook. Our defense kind of stepped up, immensely. When he was thrown in, guess what? Well, all of a sudden we get 3 turnovers. Now, we got some help. Thank you. But we get 3 turnovers, right? So it's like, listen, we know that the team wants him to do good. We know the city wants him to do good. I think it's the best game to start him because he is going to be somewhat comfortable. He is at home, although he's playing for the Bears. Yeah. But I mean, he's a very likable dude. I don't see any, Ohio fan or Cleveland fan, wishing him ill will or anything like that, despite the fact it's a very competitive game. Like, I just don't see it online or on Twitter. Like, everyone's wishing him well. In fact, the nation has pretty much said, hey, Matt Nagy needs to get out of his way and let him do his thing. So, I mean, hey, listen, this is a great showing this will be a great game. And you think of the storyline if he plays well.
Do we got a witch burning for Matt Nagy going on national TV, by the way?
Man, look, they are trashing this man.
Because
he is getting trashed every 5 seconds. And it's like, I thought I had it out for him, but good Lord.
It's so wild because it's not even like when it's about Nagy. They was talking about the Browns today, and literally it's side small comments. They said, yeah, because, the Bears coming in to play against the Browns, they're dealing with some injury, and Bears dealing with a little injury too. And finally, the decision made for Matt Nagy that Justin Fields will start. And I was like, dang, we going to do it, Matt and Andy.
Listen,
like that,
it's been like that all week. It's been like that since the game.
Yeah.
And what's amazing to me is we finally made national news for our QB in a positive way, and it is hilarious to me. Like,
and they're still killing Matt Nagy.
Still killing Matt Nagy. And so now, like, listen, the one thing I will say is I'm just happy that we're in this space. We're in this space to see something develop. And it seems like the city, like, I don't know if it's just me, but it seems like the city is really going to allow it to develop. Like, a lot of fans are being really reasonable with this because they know what he's dealing with, and we just have no faith in Matt Nagy. So they're like, hey, listen, he's not going to be as good as he can be till he leaves.
Yeah. The tough part is you came in the middle of Mitch. So at that point, like, you came in doing the show and really like focusing in on the NFL in the middle of Mitch. So the tough part is, like, you came in when we were all like divided. At the beginning, listen, like, we were all surprised. We was like, oh, wow, Mitch Trubisky, John Fox was also surprised, you know what I mean? like, there was a lot of people surprised, but it was like, all right, let's see what the kids got. He had that first season with Nagy. Listen, I was out here talking about he was going to be the next white Cam Newton. You know what I'm saying? Like, wow. I believe that video is still on the channel. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like you came in the middle of us, like, nah, I stuck my neck out for you. And nobody want to look stupid. That's really what it come down to. It's a lot of people that was like, he's going to be the next one. And then all of a sudden it was just like, oh, we still can't hit people wrong. We were very, very wrong. So,
man, listen, Chicago is a dangerous city, man. Chicago is a really dangerous city. Not let me
sounded bad.
Not from a violent standpoint, but I mean, like, as far as our sports are concerned, when we rally behind you, we rally behind you. But if you let us down, you will hear it until you either have a really great season, not a game, a season, or you are traded out of here for somebody else. Like, we will let you have. So I'm really hoping that, he shows up, shows out, does his thing, and it really translates into wins. At least gives the city something to buzz about. So
I definitely think he will, man. I definitely think he will. Now, while we got y'all here, man, we want to let y'all know that the Windy City Weekly is back on. We had somebody come away picking the best fantasy team with $90 last week, and we got that thing back up to $100 this week for the first place prize. We appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with us on that, because we are trying to get 200 people signed up for FanDuel. So I just got to ask you, are you like us, man? Bears fans who know that they could run a successful franchise if given the chance. Well, we've teamed up with FanDuel to give you the opportunity to put your GM skills to the test. With FanDuel being the premier sports gaming destination in the United States, we realize that this is the perfect way to not only team up with the Breeze Nation for some fantasy fun. I mean, we could have done, me and Kid was talking about doing a contest, but I mean, a league, but what they get, like 12 people, 16 at the moment. Now, we want to play with all of y'all. We want to get everybody up in there, man. It's also a way to allow y'all to win some cash money, put it in your pocket. With that being done, we're doing the Windy City Weekly Fantasy Contest that allows you to win real cash prizes and compete against me and the squad. It's simple. You pick your team while staying under the given salary cap, and if you pick the best team, you win. First place winner will get $100, and it'll be tiered down over the top 25, at least getting their entry fee back. I think Kid has did pretty good last week, didn't you, on the FanDuel? Do a little something?
Yeah, man, they did a little something. Just did better than y'all. Just don't worry.
Oh, wow. Okay, all right.
This did better than y'all. Y'all know how it is.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie. You go against every fantasy rule, and you still be winning, and it cracks me up every week.
Hey, listen,
because
the league has changed. Y'all need to change the way y'all draft, change the way y'all pick. David just admitted it. Defenses cannot keep good teams under 20 points consistently anymore. Why? Because
Yeah.
the game has
The
changed.
game has
Anyway,
changed. Hey, to enter and change the game with us, man, go to fanduel.com/Windy City Weekly or check the link in the description below. And we will have the Windy City Weekly contest in the community tab. So if y'all haven't gotten in tune with that community tab, man, we drop polls and everything on there. So get in tune with that. Make sure that when you sign up, you use our link because this is a paid brand deal. And we do get a little bit of scratch off of it. It helps us be on here with you more often. And make sure that you put in the referral, the username referral, Pat the Designer. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with us, man. Let's get back into the show.
hey man, I want you to address this question right here. Now I already know what you're gonna say because we talk about it all the time. But go ahead, do your best petty impersonation because you be going hard on
funny,
this one.
man. If we don't, I'm assuming that's if. I listen. I'm not gonna talk about nobody spelling the day because it got ugly out there, man. I told you I was worse than Chicago public school system. Y'all don't even know. Y'all funny, man. If we don't make the playoffs in the next 3 years, is that just development or is it still Mitch fault? First off, it's always Mitch fault. And technically, you actually can hold up. You actually can make that debate because when you draft poorly that high, it sets your team back usually about 5 to 8 years. I'm just saying. But no, it's not going to be Mitch's fault. At that point, I'm assuming Nagy's probably getting fired. Justin Fields is probably here. This is the thing, y'all. Listen, good head coaches, or I'm sorry, bad head coaches get good quarterbacks.
Yep.
Deshaun Watson had Bill O'Brien. You know what I'm saying? Like is Bill O'Brien even still in the NFL or is he doing? I think he's doing college.
I have no idea.
Is he the DC for Alabama? Right? Somebody let me know in the chat. Let me know. I believe he's the.
He's
DC
still getting
for
paid
Alabama.
millions of dollars
Still
somewhere.
getting paid millions of dollars. Listen, and this is the thing. He's a good defensive coordinator. He's just a terrible head coach.
Mm.
Sometimes that happens. Listen, the Texans defense was something to behold when JJ Watt was healthy, when they had Clowney on the other side. You know what I'm saying? Like it was a good defense. I'm still tripping that Pat said white Cam Newton for Mitch Trubisky.
Man, listen.
Why he couldn't be the white Quincy Carter?
but here's the one thing that's a bar right there. Here's the
That's
one thing
the
I would say
bar. Pocket with the
before we
bar.
keep it moving off of that one is even with Mitch, we still made the playoffs 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, no,
right.
you're not wrong.
So like,
And listen,
and you can say, oh, the defense did it. You can say whatever you want to say. We still make the playoffs.
and
Right.
listen,
And so
with
I don't
Bill
even
O'Brien,
I don't see us not making the playoffs. I really don't see us not making the playoffs unless this is just all about unless Justin is just a little bit too far behind. I hate to say it
too
like that.
far behind. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't expect us not to make the playoffs because we still have a formidable team. Our run game is definitely stepped up. I mean, we got a top 10 running back based off yards,
Right.
2 weeks in. So I mean, like the play calling has gotten better. It's gotten more balanced, at least. I would say that it's gotten more balanced. Nagy seems to be definitely getting his head out of his behind slowly. So at this point,
Yeah.
I don't expect us not to make playoffs.
Oh,
but
you letting Nagy learn on the job a little bit in year 4?
Oh no, listen, he's definitely needs to learn faster because
better figure it out.
you got to figure it the heck out because you ain't gonna sit there and throw Justin under the bus and back it up like you did Mitch. Because I will absolutely pull up to Halleck Hall. He better stop playing with me anyway.
I think what you got to look at is that Matt has right now. It's more of an opportunity for Matt to become the head coach that's going to continue to develop Justin and continue to help Justin grow than it is that Justin Fields will be, or that Matt Nagy will be Justin Fields' last head coach. Like I said, I use the Texans because it's an excellent example. Because Bill O'Brien had what we would call a Super Bowl contender.
Facts.
He had he had D-Hop, he had Deshaun Watson, he had a defense that was strong. He had the problem was he overpaid on a left tackle. It's a
And
premier
even
position
without targets, he still had the Michael Jordan
of
of
the
football
NFL.
there. Like he was getting it done. I really hope to see Deshaun Watson back in the jersey and back on the field. I really do because that
Exactly.
dude was exciting to watch.
Well, let's let him get through his allegations before we
I said I hope that he gets back on the field and back in the jersey. I mean,
Hey, look,
listen.
I hope so too, but I hope it's not a Roethlisberger situation.
Hey,
Anyway,
listen.
so
But Ben is on the field.
hey, wild.
Ben is on the field.
Listen, wild. Anyway,
Hey,
uh,
whatever. And he
innocent
might
until
have
proven guilty.
actually did his joint. Anyway, say
Glad we're
whatever
on,
you want to say.
glad we're
Ben
live
got
on the Contender.
what
It's
we
the
got
Wild
two,
Wild
three
West.
rings. I guess when you win a
Uh,
Super Bowl and you look like him, it's a never mind. Anyway,
Easy now. I'm gonna need you to take 10-15% off
I
that.
gotta
But no,
relax.
you gotta relax, man. I see you were sipping all day today.
I
But
gotta relax.
But no, I think the thing with Matt that I expect is, look, he might be the guy that starts off Justin's development. He might be the guy that gets Justin at least moving in the right direction. Does that mean that I think that he's going to be the guy that finishes off Justin's career right now? I don't. I think that he'll be here for a couple of years and he's going to try and prove to him that he should, or prove to us that he should be here. But
Yeah.
I don't think that he'll end up being the head coach that really gets us to the promised land with a superstar quarterback. And I do think that Justin is going to be a superstar quarterback when it's all said and done.
Oh, absolutely. I wholeheartedly believe it. Only reason it doesn't happen is because of Nagy. That's it.
And listen, but
That's
I'll
it.
say this: when
And
Peyton,
if we don't have people catching the ball, like I got a
yeah,
lot of heat on this in our video and our comments. I you know I'm petty. I got to go in.
it was really going at you. I'm not
A
gonna lie.
Rob is not
First
an
off,
elite
first off, we had
wideout.
multiple Stephen A. Smith comparisons today.
He's not. He's not an elite wideout. He's above average, and that's okay. That's good. That's cool. We need that, right? But he's not elite. Why do I say that? Because I can name 5 elite wideouts right now, and A Rob can't do what they do. He can't.
What can he do?
Obviously, he can't catch open balls. But anyway, pause. You
Yeah,
need to relax.
thank
You
you.
need to relax.
No, I think that we have to see what A Rob does with a quarterback that's going to put it in his chest. Listen, when we're
You know
talking,
why I say I can't agree with that? Because we've seen elite wideouts with bad QBs, and we still recognize them as elite.
I think that A Rob is recognized as a top 10 wide receiver.
Top 10?
Yeah. Listen, when you put up 1,300, 1,200, 1,100 yards with the quarterbacks he's done it with,
You're
you
the
got
only target.
hey, that don't
He
make it
was
easy.
the
That
only
doesn't make it
target.
easy. I don't understand why y'all keep saying that. That makes it harder. That makes it so much harder. When you're the only target, you know what they do? Hey, safety, corner. Y'all both watch him. You know why? Because there's no chance this dude on the other side is coming across. You know why Devontae Adams is as good as he is? Because he's the only one that's good.
Nah,
Marquez Valdez-Scantling got 6 passes thrown his way. He caught 1.
nah,
Robert
nah,
Tunyon's good, but
nah.
it's
I'm gonna
it's
tell you the truth. My opinion on Adams is that he has Aaron Rodgers. Because Valdez Scantling looked real good for a nice stretch because
yeah,
Rodgers.
but this is the thing, a stretch. There's guys that look good
Oh,
first.
that stretch was last season. Let's not get it twisted. That stretch was last season.
No, but I'm saying there's guys that look good for a stretch because they go on a heater, they catch a vibe, they get in a rhythm with it. The thing that I want to see from A-Rob is prove to me that same thing with Justin Fields. Prove to me this year that is you. And it's not the circumstances around you. Because A-Rob's been by himself the entire time. A-Rob had Blake Bortles. I don't think Blake Bortles is still in the NFL. I don't think Blake Bortles should have ever been in the NFL, but I don't think that Blake Bortles is still in the NFL. And a lot of those stats are Allen Robinson. Now, do I think that he's worth 18 mil right now? No. But this is the season to prove it. This is the season where it's like, no, it's not because of a rookie quarterback. It's not because of, because he's putting the ball in your hands. Now, I will say this as a caveat as well. Having A-Rob is an excellent security blanket for your young quarterback. Is it worth $18 million to have that, though?
Having Olympic speed on your receiving core
Hey, look,
is what it is.
we got Olympic speed, but them hands ain't you know what I'm saying?
Hey,
They were doing track and field. They weren't doing or
having
they
a rook that only
hey,
dropped
look,
2 passes all last season is what's,
no, and
that's
I'll give you
listen,
that,
I'm
but
more
it's the comfort. You know what I'm saying?
hey, listen, Mooney is gonna do him more wonders than A-Rob. I'm
I
willing to
can't
bet
wait
on
to
it.
drop that clip.
You said what?
I said I can't wait to drop that clip.
Hey, listen, do it. Do it. Meet me at the end of the season. And I'm gonna be talking drops. We're gonna be looking at drops.
Well, it's about here's the thing. It's about where it's like we said in the show on Monday. It's about where you do it. You know what I'm saying? It's about where you do it. If you have a drop here and there in the middle of the field, okay, people drop the ball. But if when you're going to the end zone and they hit you in the hands, that's when you're supposed to have that. When that deep pass is coming and they hit you in the hands, that's when you're supposed to have that. And so that I'm gonna be real with you. That's all I want to see from A Rob. I
Mhm.
want to see that.
Prove it to me. I don't believe it. Prove it to
Prove
me.
it to me. That's
And for
exactly
those who
what it
keep
is.
saying I thought we in a new studio, hey, listen, we do a lot more shows. Obviously going live, things of that nature. We will be doing the lives in our new studio and that setup eventually. But right now, we're just testing some things out, obviously getting things set up. So this is to still keep the content going, to still interact with you all, still put out this stuff for you all, interact with the fam. We got to do it based how we've been doing it, but we are transitioning there. So if you like the new setup, go like that video, give us the feedback. It really does help us. We take all the pointers and everything like that. But this is a bit of a transition process, but we got to keep the show going.
And here's Sanders, man. Why Sanders? Shout out to my boy Ken in the chat, man. Shout out Kenny Kice out here. But why Sanders always come in here yelling, dog? Jay Sanders, dog, take the cap locks off, brother. Take the cap locks off. We had a normal conversation. You ain't got to scream at me.
Gee.
A Rob has proven it. Listen, I said that I think that A Rob has made the quarterbacks he's had. But does that make you 18 million? Because A Rob last season, there were some passes that you can definitely put on A Rob. There's a lot more you can put on Mitch, but there were some passes you can put on A Rob. And a lot of it is the 50-50 ball. And I'm not saying that A Rob is slow. I don't know who came up with that narrative. I'm not saying that A Rob is slow. But what I'm saying is that he's got what we can call in an NFL setting regular wide receiver speed. And guess what? So do the guys on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
Now, regular wide receiver speed is still faster than any of us. Well, maybe some of y'all in the chat faster than me. I seen kid
You wild, man.
run like he got a cramp waiting to happen.
Faster than you.
We'll see. Hey, 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 we can throw that race on there.
Hey, listen, I will race you for the
Hey,
fam
hey, who raced me?
anytime you want, man.
I think J Mart raced me and definitely got smoked.
J Mart put on 60 pounds. I mean,
Jesus. But I think the thing is with the Bears that, especially when it comes to the receiving core, especially when it comes to what they're going to do offensively moving forward, it has to improve from what we saw in week 2. Week 1 is a wash.
Yeah.
What we saw in week 2 looked like an offense that was getting it together. It looked like an offense. Now, again, versus like David said, versus a bad defense, versus a struggling defense, but versus a defense that, listen, beat up on the Minnesota Vikings, versus a defense that stopped for the most
Wow.
part Dalvin Cook.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like we always come out and it's always, well, their record says that they should be bad, so they bad.
Ooh.
A-Rob may have average speed, but he has second-tier route running. No, and look, I don't have a problem with the route running. There's no problem with A-Rob. The problem is if you don't have the above average speeds, you don't get the breakaways. When you don't get the breakaways, that means you're going up for 50-50 balls. And whether he's got above average route running, which he does, his routes are nasty. Y'all saw him on that side where he caught that little bitty you dig and turned it into a first down. You know what I'm saying? But you have to. If you're not going to get away from guys, if you're not going to blow past guys, you have to win the 50-50 ball. And that's the comment right there. He can't create space from a defense. I'm not gonna
Hey,
say, oh,
hey, ain't that what I said though?
he said he's an above average wide receiver. I give him more than above average.
Ain't
I
that
give
what
him
I said though?
Here's the thing. Above average is
It's
not
I ruled the world. Ain't that what I said?
above average is not 1,000 yards plus. Like did we lower the bar on
Yo, Jesse come in swinging. Like,
what he say?
wow.
Stop
Wow.
looking. Per offense has
Man,
206.
shout out because I've never seen your name come across. So shout out for you for
Yeah, shout
watching.
out
I
to you, man.
appreciate that. Shout out to you. Came out swinging. Okay.
Oh,
Who's
I'm
your
assuming
team?
that's R as well. He says our offense has 206 yards and 10 points. Come on, man.
Oh,
Listen,
okay. He said our offense. I thought
our
you said I thought it was going your,
yeah, 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 yeah. Either way,
Okay.
I'm assuming that was R.
Got
I just think that when I'm looking at A-Rob as a receiver, hey, shout out to Jay Sanders for taking the cap locks off, bro. Y'all, we really interacted with the chat today. Shout out to Jay Sanders for taking the cap locks. See, that's a conversation. I think that he's closer to an elite receiver than he is an above average receiver. I wouldn't call him an elite receiver because I've watched him season over season drop 50-50 balls. And he's
and
not
guess
going
what?
to get away.
Elite receivers do what? They
Elite
bring down the 50
elite
50 balls.
receivers are they're gonna bring
Chad
it
Johnson will
down.
tell you, I'm wide open. I'm phone booth for 3 defenders on me. Throw it there, I got it. If that's A-Rob, that 50-50 ball is going back pick 6.
We have seen that. We have seen and yeah,
Hey,
that's there. That's
so again,
definitely there.
above average, not saying he a bust, not saying he a scrub. He's one of our best players on our team. Let's not get it twisted here. He's best players on our team.
I feel like there needs to be something. Let's say average, above average, really good,
Above average.
elite.
You know what? I would say
Where's
really
he at
good.
there? Okay,
I
all
could
right.
say really, I'd say really good.
Because this is the thing. Above average is a very it's like, hey, you kind of good. Like Mardez, nah, he not. I was gonna say I couldn't even do it. You know who it is? Will Fuller.
Calvin really is elite.
Will Fuller is an above average wide receiver to me. He's not a number one, but he can get the job done for you. He can have him a game. Alshon Jeffrey for Chicago. Alshon Jeffrey is an above average receiver.
Facts.
Alshon Jeffrey is an above, but he's not Allen Robinson. Like that's where I think it's different. You know, like elite is top 5 in the league.
But wait, Alshon Jeffries has some 1,000-yard seasons too. So how can we say that?
Some underneath, and he's also dropped 50% of his passes.
Oh, listen. Well, guess what?
You know what
A-Rob has had some underneath too.
A-Rob hasn't had a season under 1,000 yards since when?
I mean, he's had a season under 1,000 yards. What, 4 years ago?
Before the Bears?
No, I think he had one with the Bears. Yeah, his first season with us is 754.
754. Okay. Well,
we had 2 good seasons and went in the middle of the third.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay.
So I mean, hey, listen. I'm not. Here's the thing. I don't want it to be where it seems like I'm trashing him. The reality is, hey, no, I'm not trashing him. I trash Nagy. I don't trash him. Right. The reality is he's the best. He's one of the best players on our team. So we expect more out of him because we finally got somebody that's going to give him the opportunity to show what he can do. So now that the opportunity is here, guess what? Do something with it because now this is the opportunity to do it. And so all the way around, we now have what we believe is a offense in someone at the helm of that offense that can put us in winning situations. Let's make it happen. Let's make it happen. So if that ball is in the air, I don't need it to be.
No, I agree with you.
Because again, if he catches that pass, our offense don't put up 10 points. They put up 17.
Well, again, yeah, and that's a great point. And again, to me, that comes down to the scheme again. Listen, we're killing A-Rob today. A-Rob got 4 passes. Now, I think some of that's on him. You got to be able to get rid of your you got to be able to get rid of your defender to get the ball. But I also think I saw that. But you also got to be able to get rid of. You also have to be able to, you know what I'm saying, be schemed in an area where, hey, listen, he is wide open. And you also got to have a quarterback that's going to go to him because we know that Andy Dalton has missed that wide open read a couple of times. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, the problem with the scheme is that Hey, y'all seen the chart? If you're on Twitter, you seen the chart. If you're on Facebook, I'm sure most Bears social media places have put it out there. A lot of these channels. He
Scheme
didn't go
short.
more than 10 yards. He didn't go more than 10 yards the first game. The second
And
game, he had 2 shots more than 10 yards. The two passes he caught, he turned into something.
And if we are going to be real fans, stop putting all that on the QB. Stop putting that just solely on the QB, because that's not just solely on your QB. When we say scheme, it ain't because, he sat there with the Denny's menu and said, yeah, Nagy, I want that one. No, Nagy sat on the sideline with the Denny's menu and caught the play as well. So guess what? That's what happened.
Yeah,
That's what happened. It's a 50-50 thing. That's what I'm saying. It's a 50-50 thing.
Yeah.
But like, dude, honestly, the
relationship.
dude's nickname is the Red Rifle. You think he doesn't want to drive the ball down the field?
I don't think he has the ability to anymore.
No, I think he does. He didn't lose it.
Hey, look,
he did it last season.
Look, I saw that. I saw him.
It was 50-50, but I mean, hey, listen, he had a 50-50 team too.
So, highlight. What is it? Herne? 777. Nope, not that one. Beneath him. Ron, there we go. Ron. I like that. Ron dropped that ball because he's not used to accurate passes. There's something to that, but that's funny. I just want to highlight that real quick there. Listen, let's get a prediction for Sunday's game.
I don't know if I can get rock with that one.
Hey,
my job is to catch the ball, and I'm not used to it being right there, so I let it go. I don't get it.
Hey, what I say last night? He had that Muggsy Bowles. I caught it. Well, he had his powers took away. Let me ask you this. What are you expecting Sunday from the young man in Justin Fields?
2 TDs, one. I'm expecting two touchdowns, 1 passing, 1 rushing, and an INT.
That's not a bad day. How many yards?
I give him 250.
250, 1 touchdown passing, 1 touchdown rushing, and an INT. 250 total or 250 passing yards?
250. Oh, 250 passing.
Ooh, 250 passing. How much you giving him on the rush?
No. 250 total.
I was gonna say you got him having a great
day,
dog.
It's Nagy. Nagy's gonna be real conservative with him at first.
Well, it don't matter about that. It's also, he might have to run for his life, so we can see 100 yards on the ground. You know what I'm saying? I kind of agree with you though. I got 250. I'm gonna say 30 yards of rushing offense, so 280 total. I'm going to say 1 passing touchdown, 1 rushing touchdown, and I think that's all the Bears offense musters. I think the Bears do lose big. I think I said 31-17. I think I said 31-17. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm very wrong. Hey, you was right. Ricky said, who y'all play on Sunday? You right. Okay, he wasn't rocking with us. Thought he said,
no, that was the other dude. It was the other dude.
Was that another dude?
It was another dude.
Not Ricky. All right,
hey, but you know what? The one thing I will say is it depends on Baker's playing. If Baker's playing, that offense is not clicking the same. OBJ's may not play. But their defense is still very formidable. I can see him with the INT. Like that INT is gonna happen. It's okay. He's gonna throw this pick.
I keep hearing OBJ. Like OBJ ain't been there. OBJ ain't been there for a while. Am I wrong on that? Like the OBJ?
No, they actually look better when he wasn't playing, in my opinion.
That's what I'm saying. Like I keep hearing like OBJ is a reason they're gonna struggle, and I'm only hearing it from Bears fans. And I'm like, now Jarvis Landry being out, that's bigger. But listen, that's gonna be I think that's gonna be a game where we're gonna see a lot of ground and pound on both sides. Man, shout out to Ricky, man. Shout out to Ricky. Say you're a Chargers fan. But this is favorite pod, so we watch it. Shout out to you, dog. I love that. I rock with that. Okay.
Thanks.
Okay, Ricky. Hey, boys.
Jay Sanders, I appreciate you not putting the caps in, but I got to keep. It's not negativity. He's a rookie. I'm expecting rookie mistakes. I'm expecting some continuity issues. I'm expecting for that to be the case. Guess what? It's a lot of legendary QBs that keep throwing picks. It's part of the game, dog. Yeah. Defenses have gotten better. Offenses take more risks. It's part of the game.
Everybody's out here throwing picks except Tom Brady.
That's because he's cheating. He's signing everybody.
He's at a 9-2 ratio.
Hey, you know how many times he's done probably renegotiated his contract to get that extra ring? He's probably playing for free.
Listen, I'm nervous fantasy-wise, man, because I might lose I might lose AB. I mean, due to
COVID.
COVID-19. I'm like, oh no. But I don't know how them rules are working in the NFL this year because they were 100% vaxxed.
I love this comment. You want to know why I love this comment? Because there's a lot of rookies that are not average. We have one of the best QB draft class probably in a very long time. And that's really hard to say coming from 2017 and looking what we got from there. But guess what? We got some people who are just not on good teams, but they throwing picks. And guess what? We are very much so a development team. We're in middle of the road trying to get better. A pick is a pick. It's going to be all right. It's going to be all right. But we taking an L. Don't worry about that.
I do believe that. Hey, look, that's the one thing I really hope I'm proven wrong with. Make sure y'all in here. Friday we'll have a live as well. Doing a little Bears preview on Friday, a little football Friday. We're gonna be in here for that. And then on Sunday after the game, make sure y'all are in here for the Bears post game. So just want to remind y'all again to join the FanDuel League. If you are not entered into FanDuel, man, sign up with us. And I mean, listen, FanDuel's doing a lot of crazy things. There's a lot of free ways that you can win a lot of money. I think I was 12 points away from 11 grand last week. I was a little hurt. 12 points away.
It's other ways to play with FanDuel, just like there's other ways to play fantasy on Yahoo and things of that nature. So it's not something you have to go in there and rush to put money up for. We're not, promoting you to go out there and gamble, especially for those who have vices with it. So, but just it's a way for you to interact, a way for you to have fun with it. And hey, Jay Sanders, you sit there, you got a prediction, go ahead, put it together on there. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happened. I want to see what you're gonna do with it. Hey, listen, real quick. I know we're coming down to the last couple of minutes. I want to throw this out there. We've had a lot of NBA talk, and I know we haven't really had any NBA talk because the Bears football season has started, so it's the Justin Fields show and everything like that. But
next week.
Hey man, listen, NBA. If for those who don't know, the NBA was really where we took off as a platform, and so we're really excited about what this season is going to bring because there's a better product on the field, on the court. What do you have coming up? What are you expecting? The Bulls are actually still making some moves, trying to at least. Yeah. What are you hearing? What are you seeing? What do you want to throw out there real quick?
So I think the thing with the Bulls to look out for is going to be probably adding one more guy coming into training camp next week. I don't know what they're going to look. I think they're looking for more big man help.
You think Terrence Ross is going to be that guy? There's some rumors out there.
Terrence Ross, is he not on Orlando no more?
He's on Orlando, but they're trying to get him.
I'm okay.
Trying to get him.
That's okay. Terrence Ross had one game, like legitimately one game. Legitimately one game. No, I think that we're first things first. This channel is gonna have a lot of fun with Bulls basketball this year. We're pretty much gonna be live calling every single game. I might be a couple here and there that we either go to or just something comes up that we might not be able to live call, but we're gonna be live calling pretty much most of the Bulls games. So if you're a Bulls fan, man, get in tune with us on that because those are so much fun. We are going to have phone lines for the Bulls games as well. So when there's some downtime during the Bulls game, we can get a quick phone call, get them in there. So we're going to have that added as well. We finally figured out the scoreboard issue. Me and Kid was on here literally just like, we just figured that out. I think that's a mess. So get in tune with us on that, man. We're gonna have so much stuff Bulls wise coming this year that it's gonna be crazy. Hoping to get some players on to watch the game with us as well. So a lot of stuff on that. Prediction for the Bulls. And listen, a possible video that might be coming. So be on the lookout for that. Depending on what Ben Simmons does, the Bulls might be in a much better spot because no matter what we can say about Ben Simmons in the playoffs is very different. But Ben Simmons during the season is a top 2 defender in the NBA.
Oh, absolutely.
Losing him is going to be wild.
Man, listen, I don't care if Ben Simmons decides to stay. They throw an extra $100 million at him, and then all of a sudden the Philly is doing what they did last year. I got Chicago over everybody. Listen, we a top 5 team. I got Chicago over. We a top 5 team. I'd say we top 3.
It can't be over everybody if you got a couple teams above us.
I know. Listen, I got to be realistic as well. Listen, I'm picking Chicago over everybody. If we facing the Nets, I got Chicago. But if I'm being less objective, guess what? I mean, KD is the best player in the world right now. You argue with your mama on that one. James Harden's one of the best players in the world. Argue with your mama. Kyrie is an artist.
Hey, we
Argue with your
appreciate.
mama on that one.
Don't argue with me. Argue with your mama. Hey, yo,
hey,
we appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with us, man. We're definitely gonna have more NBA talk coming, man. We appreciate all the love and support. Make sure y'all like the video. Make sure y'all check the FanDuel link in the description below, and be on the lookout for the Windy City Weekly posted in the community tab. If y'all ain't done so, man, hit that bell. Hey, yo, P Kid, appreciate you for tuning in with me yet again, my brother. It's your boy Pat the Designer back at it again. Hey, yo, Chicago, y'all stay safe out there, man. Peace.